Hollywood, California, known for its glamour and entertainment. A collection of freeways, movie studios, nightclubs, shops, cafes, and of course, its personalities. Over the years, this city has changed, but the underlying mystery and fascination seem to remain. Domenick Calicchio, 72 years old, born Rome, Italy in 1901. Orphaned at the age of 5, has worked at his craft for 59 years. A craft that remains in an era where artisans, like himself, have dwindled to a vanishing few. Domenick Calicchio, the last trumpet maker. Here, in a converted two-room house, the demand for Calicchio's craft is such that every inch of space is utilized, including a converted garage and a patio area. Calicchio begins on trumpet number 2135. Although the basic design has changed little over the past 50 years, he constantly makes small and often significant changes in an effort to improve his instrument. In contrast to Calicchio's handmade instruments, the majority of trumpets today are mass-produced in factories. One such automated trumpet factory produces over 2,000 trumpets a month, nearly the amount that Calicchio has made in a lifetime.
I began working in my craft in 1914. In those times, all instruments were made by hand. Today, few are made by hand. Factory instruments feel different and play different than mine. As far as I know, I'm the only one still making the trumpet by hand. This is the good start.
Hundreds of years ago, craftsmen like Calicchio, silversmiths, cabinet makers, and sculptors all fulfilled a need in the community. They were specialists, the artisans and craftsmen who were commissioned to fashion a useful object which was also a work of art. These men worked in small shops, often in their own homes, to create a complete product. Today, demand for the craftsman's handmade objects has been replaced by the demand for inexpensive machine-made products. Even though Calicchio continues at his craft, the age of craftsmanship as a means of livelihood is almost extinct. Many artisans have sought other means of support, and as a breed, they have nearly disappeared because of the pressures of modern technology and mass production. Calicchio hammers and shapes the bell as trumpet makers have done for over 2,000 years. The time-proven methods of pounding, annealing, pounding, and shaping have been passed on from one master craftsman to the next over the centuries. Shaping the bell is critical to the performance of the trumpet because it is the shape, thickness, and flare of the bell that determine the sound characteristics of the instrument.
My craft requires concentration and skill in order to make each part correct dimension.
Calicchio applies the exact amount of pressure to stretch and thin the bell. Too much pressure or too little will change the entire sound of the instrument. For Calicchio, each trumpet is a challenge. Each has its own personality, which is determined by the bell, the leader pipe, and the kind of metal used. Each bell is unique. Even when two bells are made of the same metal and turned on the same mandrel, they will not sound exactly alike. Calicchio makes most of his own tools, as craftsmen did hundreds of years before him. Hammers, chisels, bits, even some of his machinery has been handmade.
All my life I work in brass. I make everything myself. I began my graft in this country in New York City in 1925. At that time, I needed a lathe to turn the bells. I had no money, so I built my own lathe. During the war, there was no brass, so I made my own.
Centuries ago, the first trumpet makers formed straight trumpets by flaring a long, narrow tubing at one end. These herald's trumpets were used to prologue royal announcements or to signal the start of tournaments. Because of their length, these horns were quite heavy and the player had difficulty hearing his own notes. Inventive craftsmen during the Renaissance period in Italy began bending the tube to make a more compact horn called a bugle.
The bell reminds me of the Duomo in Italy. This is where I spend my holy life. I play in the streets. Since I have no parents, I was sent to the orphanage. Once I ran away from the orphanage. I do a hard job to make some spending money. I explore the back streets of the city. I got in trouble with my friends. Sometimes I make problems, so they send me back to the orphanage. Here I learn discipline and begin my craft. The master was very strict. Sometimes he beat me for no reason. I asked him, "Why you beat me? I do nothing wrong." He said, "So you won't do nothing wrong." I think this was a good thing for me. Today, I have a tremendous self-discipline.
Starting with a solid brass rod, Calicchio begins to turn the mouthpiece. The mouthpiece must be trimmed to suit the individual musician's lips and allow proper airflow.
I try many new things. I use different kind of metal. I change the dimensions and the bore to get the sound musician wants.
The finished trumpet will have 200 parts, each part handmade by Calicchio. Curiously, Calicchio, who has made over 2,000 trumpets, has never played a single note. The cylinders are drilled. These will be joined together to form the valve casings. Valves have been considered the major advancement in trumpet design ever since their invention in Germany 150 years ago. By using valves, the trumpeter can push air through longer or shorter sections of tubing. This enables him to play many more notes than he could on the bugle, which had no valves.
I must prepare the casing for soldering.
After the casings have been wired, they are boiled in a special liquid flux so that the solder can be applied. Calicchio hones the valve casings. He will give each cylinder the proper critical fit so the piston will ride smoothly. Before a trumpet is completed, each moving part will be tested to meet his exacting standards. It takes Calicchio 4 or 5 days to make a single trumpet from start to finish. He has already made the smaller parts, which are now joined to the bell and valve assemblies. Short sections of tubing, piston caps, valves and slides are carefully hand-fitted during assembly. Calicchio's work schedule cannot be compared to that of trumpet manufacturers. He explains it like this.
I do my best. If I can finish, I do. If I can't finish, I can finish. In the meantime, I work in full speed.
With assembly nearly complete, an additional 4 to 6 hours of work remain to polish, lacquer, and fine finish the trumpet to perfection.
Each time I make the Calicchio trumpet, I work to make it better than the one before. This one feels good. Tomorrow I start another one.
Musicians find that there is a special element in Calicchio's trumpet which can't be found in a factory-made instrument. That element is the individual care and feeling he imparts. In essence, Calicchio's trumpets contain the spirit of the trumpet craftsman.
I love my work. I make a trumpet from plain piece of brass. My work is my life. For this, people will remember me.